This is everything that was changed from the latest episode of Solo Leveling compared to the manhwa novel. Before the fight, there was a flashback regarding the Ant King, thinking back to how the Ant Queen wanted to expand beyond the island due to a lack of food. The cameraman thought back to his last conversation with his father, thinking he was going to die. We also got a bit of his backstory. In the anime, they made it so that the cameraman's equipment had no signal, which wasn't the case in the novel. The director was the one who cut the broadcast to the audience since they saw everything that had happened to the hunters. Jinu praising Iron was skipped. Yonho assuring Donwook that everything was going to be alright because of Jinu's arrival was skipped. Originally, Jinu arose the dead ants to become shadow soldiers in order to finish off the ants faster. This shocked the cameraman and got a reaction out of Yonho. A scene with the broadcasting crew celebrating how quickly Jinu was defeating the ants was skipped. President Go's scene was cut shorter in the anime compared to the novel. Originally, it was Jinu's mom who was trying to turn on the TV. It was then that Gina stopped her, having a bad feeling about it since Jinu was nowhere to be found. Yonho being worried about Jinu running out of mana because of how many shadow soldiers he had summoned was skipped. By the way, the ant was speaking in Goto's voice. When the broadcast was back on, the death of Min was immediately reported, which brought upon a somber mood to the audience. However, that quickly changed into cheers as they saw Jinu defeating the ants. After the first punch, the cameraman felt nauseous due to the Ant King's pure strength. Some of the Ant King's monologue where he questioned if he was physically weaker than a human was skipped. Jinu struggled more in the anime compared to the novel, considering the Ant King was just slightly more stronger than Baran. The Korean hunters were also shocked at the pure power of Tusk, thinking he was a Demon King incarnate. Overall, the animation for this episode was beyond anything we had seen throughout the whole series, plus Sawano as always killed it with the soundtrack. If I were to be nitpicky about this episode, then I'd wish they adapted some of the earlier parts of the initial confrontation a bit better. Plus, I personally would have liked if the scenery in the background had that bluish, rocky, cave-like texture and color similar to what they did with the Orc Dungeon. But I do get that this is supposed to be an anthill as opposed to a cave. Other than that, as an adaptation, I'd rate this episode a solid 9 out of 10.